Boy, I'll tell you, I was just talking to Danny. That flight back from New York last night was long. That was a long flight, but the reception that we got from this promotion in New York City has been tremendous. The media in New York really turned out. Madison Square Garden put on a great press conference. They had the Garden Vision down. It was in the big arena. It was the first time we've ever done a press conference in the big arena at MSG. And you can feel the excitement about this fight. This is really two champions fighting each other. There's no question that both of these gentlemen sitting next to me here on stage are the two best fighters in their division, and that's really what the fans respond to, is the best fighting the best. There's not going to be any tables being thrown up here at the podium. Both fighters, I'm proud to say, are both fighters are great ambassadors for the sport of boxing. This is really how the sport should be conducted, where they have a tremendous amount of respect for each other. They're both very confident in their abilities, and the teams as well have a tremendous amount of respect for each other. So this is the type of fight where the fans just want to see who's truly the best middleweight in the world. Naturally, Danny wouldn't have taken this fight if he wasn't confident of winning, and the same thing with Gennady. This is a mandated fight from the WBA that if Gennady wanted to keep his title, he had to fight Danny Jacobs. And the same thing is if Danny wants to show that he's the best in the sport, he knows he's got to fight Gennady Golovkin to prove that. So this has really been a great start to the promotion. We went on sale with tickets about 2 weeks ago over the holidays, and the ticket sales are outpacing where they were the last time Gennady was at MSG with David Lemieux, when the MSG was completely sold out. So we definitely see the response that Danny has with his fan base, with what he's accomplished in the ring, and it's a great matchup. We announced officially yesterday. Also, the co-feature on the show is Chocolatito Gonzalez, universally pretty much considered the best pound-for-pound fighter in the sport. He'll be defending his WBC 115-pound title against Sistraket from Thailand. That's a mandatory that was mandated by the WBC. We saw Chocolatito just fighting here at the Forum last September in a very tough fight against Quadras, but he won his fourth division title, and now he's got a very tough defense with Sistraket. So Chocolatito hasn't been in any easy fights, but that's also a tremendous co-feature for this main event. And our focus is to provide the fans and the media as much value as we can for this promotion. And with these four fighters in the main event and in the co-main event, it's a tremendous amount of talent that people will see on March 18th at Madison Square Garden, distributed by HBO pay-per-view. With that, I'd like to bring up some of the principles involved with this promotion. You know, when you see the two fighters in the ring and the spotlight are on both gladiators, you know, when they're walking into the ring and when they're actually in the ring, there's so much behind the scenes that needs to take place, and so much cooperation from different entities to make an event like March 18th happen. It's truly going to be. It's not a big event for New York. It's not a big event for the United States. It's truly a world-class event where you're going to see the winner on March 18th be truly the world middleweight champion. And with that, I'd like to bring up someone that has been very supportive over the years. I've known him numerous years, and every time I interact with him, he's always been very supportive. We have to give HBO a lot of credit for getting behind this fight. It will be on HBO pay-per-view. We have planned for a 24/7 for this promotion, which it just shows how much HBO believes at the success of this promotion. So it will definitely be marketed the best way we can. With that, I want to bring up Tony Walker to speak on behalf of HBO.
Thanks a lot, Tom, and thank all of you for coming today as we launch on the West Coast this great pay-per-view show. On behalf of Peter Nelson and the rest of the staff at HBO, I have to say that we are extremely excited to put the middleweight championship on the world on HBO pay-per-view. Here in Los Angeles, we've been very fortunate to see Gennady Golovkin up and close since 2012 when he first made his debut on HBO. The smile, the charisma, and he just keeps knocking everybody out. It's easy to keep going with that. And you have Danny Jacobs, who had his last appearance on HBO in 2009 when he fought Ishii Smith. So welcome back, Danny. It's going to be a great night, and fans all over the world are going to benefit from that. Credit has to go to K2 for, as Tom talked about, being able to put a show like this together with two of the best fighters in the world. It's not easy, as guys are very protective of their fighters. But on March 18th, it all is going to come together with a great on the card. I want to thank in advance the distributors of this show, the cable, the satellite, the telephone companies who have already committed to giving a lot of resources to making sure their customers know about the show and that it's easy to order on pay-per-view. The fight will have a suggested retail price of $54.95. We promise a great telecast from the HBO broadcast team, who I think is obviously the best in the business. So please let your viewers, listeners, readers know about a great night on March 18th. And if you can't get to New York, we promise you a great show on HBO pay-per-view. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. I wanted to bring up someone who's been a dear friend of ours over a number of years, representing not only the WBC, but the Suleiman family. Gennady, this will be his 17th world title defense. He just got the WBC title last year. I think that was pretty well documented about him being a mandatory challenger for Canelo. And instead of that fight happening last year, who knows when it's going to happen. The fact is that Danny Jacobs is here to make the statement of he wants to be the best middleweight or prove that he's the best middleweight in the world. And you see all the belts here that Gennady has collected over the years. And as I said in New York, if Danny Jacobs wins March 18th, these will be on this side of the table. There is no rematch clause. It's a WBA mandatory fight. But to say some words on behalf of the WBC, Gennady's the WBC champion, as well as it'll be Chocolatito's WBC World Championship fight, is Pepe Suleiman.
Good afternoon. To see the promoters and companies working together is very important. The WBC wishes to congratulate K2 Promotions and PBC for allowing this great fight to happen. For many years, the WBC has been working on getting the best against the best in the ring. Also, without HBO and the Madison Square Garden, important fights like this would not be possible. This is the Madison Square Garden is one of the greatest arenas, and for modern contemporary boxing, a lot of people think of it as where it all began. So this is to have this fight go back to happen in New York at the Madison Square Garden is a great thing to have happen. So Gennady Golovkin and Daniel Jacobs, they have fought and they have overcome a lot of things, in their lives to be here where they are. They are true champions, true warriors and gentlemen. As Tom very well said before, they are an example of what a boxer, a champion should be. So the WBC is very happy also to announce that the fight between Chocolatito and it will be this, with the mandatory fight will happen again in the same card. So we are very, very excited about having such great fights in the same card again. So the WBC wishes to congratulate both boxers and wish them the very best of luck, and may the best man win. Thank you very much.
As Pepe alluded to, we can't thank Madison Square Garden enough for hosting this fight. We have to give a special thanks to Joel Fisher, Sal Federico, everyone at their staff. There actually was an event already booked on March 18th, and they had to pay that event to move off of the date because they wanted this fight. They believed so strongly in this fight being successful on March 18th, and it shows their commitment to boxing. Danny represents Brooklyn Boxing. He's a great ambassador for that brand. And I just think this will be a tremendous night at the Mecca of boxing. And you see the fan bases from both Gennady and Danny Jacobs coming together to support not only the event, but the fighters. And we can't thank MSG enough. I'd also like to thank some of the sponsors that are involved with this event. They're also a very integral part of putting this together. Tecate is the lead sponsor. You see that the beautiful Tecate girls and the bottles, and they just really have a commitment to marketing and promoting through the activation for this fight. So we really give a big thank you to Tecate for being the title sponsor. Also Expo 2017. Gennady is the world ambassador for the World Expo. It'll be in Kazakhstan this summer, so it's a very big event for the country, and he's a representative for that sponsor. Also Tesna Bank and Capital Holdings. So we'd like to really thank them for their participation in the event. And getting on to the principles, a lot of people thought this fight might happen in December, and there were some grumblings of why can't it happen earlier. I've acknowledged all the work that Team Jacobs has done putting this fight together. Have to give a special acknowledgement to Al Heyman. Even though the negotiations took a little bit longer than many people might have wanted them to take, there was never any doubt or any hesitation from either Al or from Team Jacobs as far as wanting the fight. It was just working out the right deal. We got that done on HBO pay-per-view at MSG on March 18th. So I'd really like to thank everyone on Team Jacobs for making it happen. Same thing on the Triple G side. I'd like to acknowledge Oleg Herman, who's the management team, along with his brother Max, who've been a very integral part of the Triple G side. So with that, I'd like to bring up the trainer for Danny Jacobs. Actually, first I want to acknowledge Sam Watson, who's here on the podium today. You always see Sam kind of behind the scenes, but he also provides a great support system and just a lot of motivation for the fighters, and certainly a lot of is definitely an integral role with the fighters that Al works with. So we want to thank Sam for being here on the podium. So with that, I'd like to bring up, and this is what I said in New York, is that both Danny and Gennady are somewhat soft-spoken, very respectful, but I think you'll get a lot more quotes from the trainers of the fighters. Everyone knows that Abel is very outspoken, and Andre has been involved with the Curtis Stevens fight before, and he always is very confident in his fighters and has really established himself as one of the premier trainers in the sport. Not only the work that he's done with Danny Jacobs, but the multiple other fighters and champions that he works with, and that's really the true mark of being a great trainer, not just having one great fighter, but having a number of fighters. So with that, I'd like to bring up Andre Rozier.
Good afternoon, everyone. It was a long ride to get out here for this conference, I'm going to tell you. But I'm happy to be here. I want to thank everybody involved with this promotion, Tom Loeffler, K2, Al Heyman, It's good to see Brother Sam here. God bless you. And the fighters, because literally that's what this whole event is about. It's not about any of us, it's about them. They are the two warriors that get in the ring and they entertain you. And I just want to say this much. Give these guys all the credit in the world. I've read a lot about this, that, and the other thing. Let's not be negative about it. Let's be real boxing fans. Let's be real boxing people. These guys are putting it all on the line. Give them that respect. Let's do that. Gennady, I want to thank you. Abel, we're going to have some fun. You know that. I just want to say that a lot of people don't know Danny Jacobs. Danny is the epitome of a gentleman in the ring. And when it comes to that first bell ringing, he becomes a monster. And I know that this fight will be the fight that puts him in the position in the history of boxing where he belongs. He's been doing this since he was 14 years old, and he's never, ever disappointed me. And I don't expect for him to disappoint me on March 18th. I love him to death. This is not the ordinary relationship. He's like my son, and he's going to make Papa proud on March 18th. Thank you so much for coming out, and we're looking forward to a great show on the 18th.
Thank you, Andre. And with that, I'd like to bring up on the Triple G side someone that has honed. He fully acknowledges that Gennady has God-given talent. Gennady is one of the most outstanding amateur careers. Had that amateur style of boxing, but had a lot of knockouts throughout the career, his amateur career. When Abel got him up to Big Bear, it just seemed like he transformed him into that professional style, nonstop punching style. He modeled his style after Chavez Sr., and that's what he's known now as, having the Mexican style. It's just so much pressure, body shots, different combinations. So with that, I'd like to bring up the mad scientist from Big Bear, California, Dr. Abel Sanchez.
Thank you, Tom. Not a doctor yet, but thank you very much for coming out. We are looking forward to, again, facing one of Sam's and Al's projects. This is the third fight for us with him. Andre Rozier has a program which is developing and has developed a lot of very, very good fighters, as we do in Big Bear. So the fact that we're meeting at this level for the third time is indicative of a fact that we train champions. Danny's the regular champion, Gennady's the super champion, but on that night, they're both champions in the ring, and we hope that they give you the kind of fight that your presence requires. Thank you very much for coming out. See you on the 18th.
So this is the part everyone's waiting for, the two principals that'll meet in the ring on March 18th. I don't think either of them really needs a long introduction. Their resume speaks for itself. Their knockout streaks speaks for themselves. So I'd like to bring up Danny, coming off of 12 knockouts in a row, one of the highest knockout percentages in the history of the middleweight division. Danny, Miracle Man Jacobs.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for everyone for showing up. I'll keep this short and sweet. I just want to thank my team first and foremost for putting up with me throughout the years and allowing me to become the man that I am inside and out the ring. My family for always sticking by my side and supporting me. K2, HBO, and everyone that's involved that allowed this to be the mega fight that it is. This fight has the material to be one of the best fights in a very long time. What we both bring to the table, this is a can't-miss fight. You guys are going to want to get that HBO pay-per-view. You guys are going to show up and you're going to want to spread the word because this is a fight that cannot be missed. Two guys in their primes, two devastating knockout punchers. It doesn't get any better than this. I'm privileged to be able to have this opportunity to be able to face the best. 9 times out of 10, there's guys who, at the top of their careers, don't take on tough challenges, take on the number 2 or even the number 3. Guys try to milk the game, in a sense, as much as they can. Credit to Gennady for taking this fight. I have utmost respect for him and his team. But come March 18th, I think the questions that everyone has about me would be answered that night. Who I truly am, what I bring to the table, and just how great I can be. I haven't come this far to give up. I'm scared of no man. I fear nothing. My back was against the wall so many different times, and I've excelled. This is no different. It's a tough challenge, but it's one I'm looking forward to. You guys are going to want to catch this fight. Don't want to take up too much of your time because obviously fight night is the time that we actually talk, and we let our fists do the talking to entertain you guys. But it'll be for however long it lasts. I'm sure it'll be an entertaining fight. Once again, I'm grateful for this opportunity. I'm grateful for those who supported me in allowing me to have this phenomenal dream of a fight, fighting the best versus the best. I wouldn't want to have it any other way. 8-1, 9-1 underdog. I wouldn't want to have it any other way. So trust me, you guys are going to see the best Daniel Jacobs come March 18th. Thank you.
Danny really said it best. Both Danny and Gennady earned this spot, their spot in the spotlight. Nothing was given to them. Danny has earned his position. 12 knockouts in a row. Gennady's earned where he's at, 23 knockouts in a row. When you put that knockout streak together, when you have 2 fighters with 35 knockouts in a row, there's going to be fireworks March 18th. And I think it's a safe bet. I don't know what the odds on the fighters are, but I think it's a safe bet that we're not going to see the 12th round on March 18th. And that's really what the fans want to see. They want to see action in the ring. They don't want to see dancing for 12 rounds and controversial decisions. They want to know who's the actual winner on that fight. And that's why I think it's just such a tremendous matchup between these 2 champions. With that, I want to bring up undefeated, multiple world champion, Gennady Triple G Golovkin.
Thank you, Tom. Good afternoon, everybody. Good to see you at home. Oh yeah, it's very close. Everybody knows my secret. I told you today. Daniel, he's my favorite fighter, seriously. And I'm very excited for this fight because we have all belts. Thank you, God, for this chance, maybe for future, maybe for big step for future. I'm very respect this sport. I love this sport, and for me, very important who is number one in the middleweight division. I very respect Daniel's team, Daniel's promotions, because right now his position and my positions, we're going to same day, same event. And it's very important, not just for me, for everybody who number one right now in the middleweight division. Thank you, my team. Thanks who support me, my friends, my family, my partners, sponsor. Thank you, everybody. Please welcome to Madison Square Garden, March 18th. Thank you very much.
Well, there you have it. Not only are these 2 champions great inside the ring, but they've made themselves. So you heard what Andre said about the flight coming out here, and I mean, it's a lot of work promoting a fight like this, not only on the promotional side, but, you know, these champions have to train for the fight and yet market themselves during the whole promotion. So we have to give them a lot of credit. The tickets, like I said, have been on sale for about 2 weeks. We have over 5,000 tickets that were priced at $100. About 50% of those are already sold. So we expect to have a full house March 18th. As much as you can support this event, as we are all supporting it on our side, we appreciate that. So with that being said, we're going to have both fighters, both champions posing here in front of all the belts. Thank you.